he manifests himself in those forms. So Prabhupada told us, Archa Avatara. The deity is an incarnation of the Lord in a form that we can see and relate with and we can serve. First rehearsal you do with the Archa Vigraha. Then you can actually come and associate with me. But don't think Archa Vigraha is not the same as me. Pratima nahi tumi sakshat Vrajendra Nandana. You are not a statue, you are actually Krishna himself standing here. This faith you must have. Otherwise you cannot go and take darshan also. Right? Yesterday I was telling them about Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who forgot to take his specs when he came to take darshan. So one of the disciples said, "Oh, Guru Maharaj does not have spectacles. How can he see the deity?" So he went to the room and brought the spectacles and gave Guru Maharaj, "See properly." And Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur told him, "You think you can see the supreme absolute truth through the spectacles?" I know I don't have no specs. Then he explained, seeing and the seen. He said, "I did not come here to see the Lord. I came here to be seen by Him. Because I cannot see Him." He gave this explanation. Don't think darshan means, "I did not get darshan properly, yaar. In between he was standing and all that." Right? Quite often we wonder, why do they build temples like this here with such a narrow entrance? Why can't they do Vistaram, big entrance like ISKCON? You see how open it is. From anywhere you can see any corner. Because they have this understanding. You go there and submit yourself with prayers and stand in front of the Lord and do. So you will hear also some nice stories about devotees here. We don't have much of a time, but I'm going to give you a brief introduction. So first when you go for darshan, you should know this is Krishna standing here. This is one important philosophical point. You cannot come all the way here just to see a statue. Number two is, this Lord whom you see here has got a big history. It's the same deity that was worshipped by Prishni and Sutapa when they got Prishni Garbha as a son. Kashyapa and Aditi when they got Vamana as a son. Vasudeva and Devaki when they got Krishna as a son. In 3 different generations, the same deity was worshipped. That's why he's 400 form. That is why they will tell you that Vasudeva and Devaki worshipped, and therefore you will see that when Vasudeva and Devaki had their first darshan, he came in 400 form for them. Guruvayurappan only came because they were worshipping the deity. That deity only they were worshipping, so he came and gave them darshan in 400 form. Okay? So the form that Vasudeva and Devaki saw in the jail is Guruvayurappan's form. That is a local Purana. That is the local understanding. So this deities which you see is the same deity worshipped by all these 3 great lives of Vasudeva and Devaki. So this is the same deity worshipped. Then the story says that even Rukmini was worshipping the deity. Then after Dwaraka went into the waters, it was handed over by Brahma to Guru and Vayu. Some people say Narada Muni. Guru and Vayu, that is, Guru means Brihaspati, Guru of the Devas, and Vayu, to go and find out a place for giving the Lord his residence. So they scouted all over and they came. They came to this place. This place is actually Lord Shiva's place. Behind the temple is a huge pond. And there is a very beautiful forest and pond in it and everything. Lord Shiva was inside that pond meditating on the Supreme Lord Krishna. So Guru and Vayu came here, "Oh, nice pond, take a little rest and drink some water." And Lord Shiva presented himself to Guru and Vayu. And they were very happy. They took darshan of Lord Shiva and they told him, this is what we have come, we brought the Lord. So Lord Shiva paid immediately Shashtanga Pranam. And they told him that you have come to the best place because I have already chosen the best place. I don't meditate here and there. So I have meditated on the Lord and the Lord has appeared for me. This is His place. I will move backside. In this way He gave that place and He moved to another place which is called the Mamiyur Shiva temple. So He gave the place, so you must always visit Him if you want your darshan to be complete. You can go to the temple here. It's a very walkable distance from our property, just a little walk. So this is how the place came to Lord. So Guru and Vayu installed them here. So it was called Guruvayurappan, the Lord of Guru and Vayu. And this place became Guruvayur and the Lord of Guruvayurappan. That's how he got a name, Guruvayurappan. This is the brief history. There are other complicated histories which I am not getting to know. This is the brief history. So therefore you must go and visit the Lord Shiva and take his benediction also. So the temple now is under the Devaswam board. Before that it was in the Zamorin of Calicut. If you have heard of the word Zamorin, you will see the Portuguese, when they colonized India, they visited India, they came through Calicut. And there the Zamorin of Calicut was in charge. He negotiated things with them. So the deity originally was in the worship and the custody of the Zamorin of Calicut. Somehow in history many things happened. He was maintaining the temple. And then he handed it over to this Devaswam board. In Kerala, Devaswam board means many things. I shall not go into all those things. We are innocent people. We are nice devotees. We don't indulge in politics and all that. We shall only speak about the nice things about. I'm joking. So, the deity always has got many different types of devotees associated. Can you close this door? ഇതൊന്ന് വാതിലൊന്ന് അടയ്ക്കാൻ പറ. ഒരു ക്ലാസ്സിനൊന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു എല്ലാം മുകളിലോട്ട് ക്ലോസ് ചെയ്യും. So, always the Lord, the deity in every place is associated with different types of wonderful devotees. Here two famous, many devotees are there. You go inside the temple, you will see the statues of all of them on the pillars. I am particularly talking about two famous devotees. One is called Narayana Bhattatri and one is Pundanam. You will see Pundanam statue when you entered in the main highway. Old man under a big tree. It's a place called Manjulal, that place, and then you will see Pundanam. Pundanam is a very nice devotee, very ecstatic devotee, and he would read the Bhagavat and explain the Bhagavat in the local language to people. And you get huge number of people hearing his. Those days there was something called Chakyar Kuttu. Chakyar Kuttu means they will dance and they will sing and they will explain this thing. Very dynamically creative. So all the village people come and take part in it and they'll have these bells in their hands and they will humorously say some things and convey the information very nicely. Talented people. So all sorts of these meetings were going on. All about the pastimes of the Lord. So Pundanam also was giving sessions and the local people loved it very much because he was a real devotee. He would animatedly speak Bhagavatam. And in a very simple way he'll put across the Bhagavatam to them and they like it because they can understand it. He was a very famous devotee. But very humble person. Very humble. He used to come, the last time we went to Pundana Illam, his house is there, where he actually saw Krishna. Krishna came and revealed himself to him. Very beautiful place. It is maintained by the Devaswam board. So he used to come from there and he used to come and offer his prayers to the Lord. Very simple devotee, very nice devotee. There is another devotee who is highly qualified Brahmana. Bhattatri means a class of Brahmanas, so Nambudiris. Narayana Bhattatri was also a nice devotee, and he was under the tutelage or the guruship of, some people say Elutachan, some people say another name. He was in the tutelage of another person who was afflicted with rheumatoid arthritis. You know, joints and all. So he took lessons from him. It is very grateful. So normally when you take these lessons, at the end of it you offer a Guru Dakshina to your Guru. If somebody teaches you something, gives you good information, it's a culture to give him something. Thank you. Because there was no charge for education like we have in education institutions now. Education was always free. And people out of their feeling gave something. So the Brahmanas would maintain themselves. So Narayana Bhattatri asked his Guru, I have learned so many things from you, what shall I? He said, the Guru Dakshina you can give is to take my disease. I'm suffering with this for so long. This is a little bit relief. So he couldn't say anything. And he accepted that disease as a Guru Dakshina. And he became diseased, Narayana Bhattatri. After that he asked his Guru, now it's also my duty to ask you, how I shall get rid of this disease? You're my Guru, you must tell me. He said, only the Lord can do that for you, and He will do it for you if you glorify Him starting from the fish incarnation. He said, Bhagavatam, you speak His glories and the Lord will definitely do it for you. This is, times were different. Faith is very high. Don't compare it to what we have. Our levels of faith are very low. God will do this really. I don't have to go to hospital. I don't have to spend 10 lakhs for this thing. Sure, I will save 10 lakhs. Oh gosh, I must do prayers. The thinking also be very different. You'll be on the guy, I'll save money, But these people were full of faith. Full of faith. And it's true. When the Guru has said so, it will happen like that. So Narayana Bhattatri went ahead and he started glorifying, and he's a great poet and a highly literate Pandit. So he wrote the whole Bhagavatam in beautiful verses and just chanted it in front of the Lord. If you enter the temple on the left side, you will see where he sits at. There's a big brass plaque saying, Narayana Bhattatri sat here and sang the Narayaniyam. And right and the left, when you enter this thing under the tusk, when you enter inside on the left, you can look out for a brass plaque. He sat there and he sang. He was afflicted with rheumatoid arthritis. He could not move much, so they used to come and put him there. And he would write it. Maybe he had a scribe or something. And he would also cross-check it with the Lord. Did you not do like this when you came as Vamana? Did you not do like this when you churned the ocean like this? And the Lord will say, yeah. The deity will shake his head and come out like this with the butter in his hand and a small cow pin and this thing, and said, yeah, I did that. He'll come and confirm it for Narayana Bhattatri, because he was such a devotee. Not only was he a poet, so Narayana Bhattatri was having a relationship with the deity, becoming intense more and more. So he was excitedly composing. And sometimes he would ask questions and he will give clarification. He asked, you stole butter from so many houses. And it is mentioned that you broke with a stone the pot or with a stick. I am a little confused. He said, sometimes pot, sometimes stone, sometimes stick. I used everything. He came and clarified. So Narayana Bhattatri, so like that, so intimate. Then he said, when you were Ramachandra, you came, no, what a wonderful Leela you did. But it is mentioned that you took Sita and put in the forest and you came back. You abandoned her. He said, no, that's not me. That's Rama. I don't do that. He said, that is Rama. I don't do that to my devotees. He came and clarified it. He made a distinction between Rama is like that, not me. He came and told, oh. So corrected it accordingly. So it was extremely intimate and personal, that Narayana. So a lot of questions like this. So you can imagine the thrill of Narayana Bhattacharya to be composing right under the Lord and getting confirmation, correct, wrong, like this. So what a work that must be, isn't it? And what a devotee he must be to converse with the Lord and take direct confirmation. This went on, and finally he composed it. He became freed of rheumatoid arthritis. Very successful project. Whenever we do successful project, even though we are devotees, we have to be very careful. What happens is, it will get to your head, because you're still in the material world. So Narayana Bhattacharya got into his head a little bit. I am specially recognized by Guruvayurappan. I am special. Which is true. Which is actually true. But we have to be very careful with that truth. Narayana Bhattacharya became a little proud. Here comes Pundanam. Pundanam is not a great pandit and all, but he's a devotee. So he came and he will chant Vishnu Sahasranama in front of the Lord. And he will have his own pronunciation. So what? I want to chant, I am excited about devotional service, and it's all names of the Lord. So he excitedly chanted. And Narayana Bhattacharya was there that day. He chanted Narayana Mara Prabhu, one of the names of the Vishnu Sahasranama. It is actually supposed to be Narayana Amara Prabhu. Amara means the Devas, those who don't have a long span of life. They call Amara. Amara's Lord, Amara Prabhu. But he chanted Mara Prabhu. So Bhattacharya got very disturbed. Why don't you chant properly? If you don't know, don't chant. You chant in front of this thing. You are saying Narayana Mara Prabhu. Mara means tree. You think the Lord is the Lord of the tree? It's the Lord of the demigods. As soon as he said that, Pundanam's face became, because he is so famous, he's got his work confirmed by the Lord. So he became very small. He said, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. He's become insulted and felt very, but I'm a nobody in front of you. He was very humble already. On top of that, when he said this, brother, then from inside came a huge sound from the altar. Who else is Maraprabhu? I am also the Maraprabhu. The Lord said from there, boom! And then he showed his form. See? And as a tree, chanting, Narayana Maraprabhu. He showed a huge tree form, and the tree is speaking. Can you imagine what a shock you'll have? Who else is Maraprabhu? I am also Lord of the trees. Correct only what he is saying. He came and said it. You will see this, an artist has made this Maraprabhu on the south end. I has told him, go and see it. That's it. Narayana Bhattacharya cooled down a little bit. Oh yeah, okay. Made a mistake. But still his garva didn't go down much. Every day he was speaking on Narayaniyam in the main temple hall. And hundreds and thousands of people come to hear him. Because he is a person who saw the Lord and confirmed it, and this work is that Narayaniyam. So he will speak every day and read the verse and speak and give explanations. Everybody will hear. He is becoming famous, very famous. But he is becoming proud, which Krishna does not like. Krishna does not like that my devotees become proud. So on that day, because things were happening with Pundanam also, several different things were also happening. On that day, he amazingly asked, so anybody wants to, any question, any comment you have? And a boy was sitting there. Small boy with a dhoti and, this type of vipati, Gurukul boy. He said, can I say something? So everybody laughed. Then he said, yes. My dear child, you want to say, very good, come here. He started chanting that shloka. Today, you took the shloka, no? You chanted it. He memorized it. Once only he had chanted it. He memorized it. And he said, in that, this sandhi is wrong. This third line should not be, let's be like this. And the fourth one, the meaning of this is like, they started passing a critique like a scholar on it. And then this Narayana Bhattacharya, as he was speaking, understood, yeah, true, it's wrong. But how can it be wrong? It is confirmed by the Lord. But how it is wrong? So then he immediately managed it, a small boy, it's okay, sit down like that, and kept quiet. But when he went back home, he went and checked and said, it's wrong here. How did he notice it? Who is this boy? How did he mug it up so fast? He was very surprised. It was disturbing also, but at the same time he was amazed and surprised. Who is this boy? How did he by heart my this thing? So the next day he came again for the class. He became a little aware, looking around for the boy. The boy is not there. So he became peaceful and he went and spoke. He's an ecstatic speaker, Pandit. He spoke and explained the Narayana beautifully. Everybody was rapt attention. Then he closed the thing and said, any question? The boy appeared again. In front of him again the boy, can I ask question again? Oh my God. He froze. What do you want to ask today? Then he became serious and said, yes, what do you want? And the boy said, today the shloka, chanted. And this shloka, he chanted in front of everybody. Everybody started hearing. Then he said, actually he started laughing and said, like yesterday only this shloka also got this mistake, this thing, this flaw. This, when you mentioned I'm not going to the details, but in the thing it is mentioned. That boy did a critique, a literary critique, and gave a lot of points there in saying. Now he could not take it. Who? Narayana Bhattacharya could not take it. He got up and he shouted, you can't do this to me. Nobody can do this to me. It is confirmed by Guruvayurappan. There is no mistake in that. He took his book and put it under the thing and ran into the temple. And he shouted inside the temple and told, you are only doing this to me. You should not do this to me. You should not publicly do this to me. He's a devotee actually. So he has a relationship. He's not going outside and putting in the social media and filing a court case and all that and a defamation suit for so many millions of dollars. Nothing like that. He's a devotee. So he went into the temple and screamed, why are you doing this to me in front of everybody? It must be you. Only you know the text like this. He cried and said, oh, and banged his head against the thing. Then the Lord slowly spoke. My dear devotee Narayana Bhattacharya, do not worry. He consoled him first. But you must understand that I have accepted your work in spite of all this deficiencies. Why? Because I accepted your devotion, not your literary work. You are a devotee. I have great affection for you. But why don't you similarly show concern for Pundanam? He's also my devotee. Because before that what happened is Pundanam wrote a summary of the Bhagavad. This is what is sung in the morning. At 3 o'clock you should go for Nirmalya Darshanam. If you can still keep alive after today's night at Siveli. In the morning is the most famous Nirmalya Darshanam at 3 o'clock. 33 crores of demigods come to take darshan of the Lord here. The male Shanti has physically seen the 33 crores of God singing Om Sagasta Checha Purusha Sahasrakshas Sahasrapad Sabhumin Vishwato Vritva Atyatishtat Dasam Gulam Purusha Yeve Takam Sarvam. 33 crores of demigods sing how it will be. Super. He saw that and fainted there. That day there was no Nirmalya Darshanam. Because male Shanti went few minutes earlier and thought I'll do some preparations. And he went and saw people chanting with Kiridam and from all over the place. So the Nirmalya Darshanam is very auspicious. Nirmalya means without the mala and everything, only the deity you will see fully. That type of preparation and offering is there for the Lord. But what happened is that once a time he wrote this Jnana Pana, it is called, small book. He condensed the whole Bhagavatam in beautiful, simple words. So nice to hear it. And so that everybody will understand easily. And he came and showed it to Narayana Bhattacharya. He said, if you approve, that means Krishna is approved. So Narayana Bhattacharya didn't even look at it. He said, is it in Sanskrit? Because I'm a Sanskrit Pandit. I don't read anything but Sanskrit. So he said it's written in local Manipravalam, some language, local dialect of Malayalam. He didn't even answer. He just very insulting to Pundanam. Pundanam thought finished. God has not accepted it. Because only if Narayana Bhattacharya says he will accept and my work is not accepted, so I am a useless devotee, I am good for nothing, my work is not accepted and all that, he just went back feeling very humble. He is generally a very humble person. But the Lord did not like what Narayana Bhattacharya did, because he is expecting that you should approve it, which I will assume that Krishna has approved it. Which is the right way that devotees go about things. Not that they directly go to the Lord, I will do this for you. You'll always go through a devotee. That's the proper etiquette. So, Lord noticed that also. Narayana Bhattacharya is becoming proud. So therefore, the Lord told him, when he came and cried, your vibhakti is less important to me than bhakti. All your Sanskrit grammar and all that is not so important to me. That is okay. Right? I see devotion. Right? I see devotion. So he explained to Narayana Bhattacharya very nicely, you are a devotee and I relate with you because you are a devotee. And Pundanam also is a devotee very dear to me. In this way, Narayana Bhattacharya came to know that Pundanam is a devotee, a wonderful devotee, and I have insulted him. And the Lord does not like it. So he immediately paid his obeisances. I have done a mistake, I agree. And he went behind Pundanam to offer my prayers. Pundanam thought, my gosh, I have done another mistake, he is coming behind me. He also started running. I'm sorry, 2-3 attempts I have made, I am very bad, I am low devotee. I am not as good as you. I made another mistake, I don't want to confront it, I can't. He started running. Then Narayana Bhattacharya ran behind him and said, no. And he offered obeisances to him, touched his feet and crying, he told him, Krishna told me this. He told about you. And Pundanam also started crying. Spoke about me. I'm such an insignificant person. And in this way they both got together and glorified Krishna. That the Lord is very pleased with devotion. This way, the stories you will hear many of them of these two great devotees. So you go there. We always respect those devotees who are very close to the Lord and doing leelas with the Lord. Right? So these are famous devotees. I've given you a very brief, small sketch so that when you go there, it will help you with your meditation. And you can offer your prayers to Guruvayurappan accordingly. What's the time? 11:10. So time up. But the darshan? Oh, today no, this thing. Okay. Right. So these are some of the simple pastimes of the place so that you can appreciate the holy dham, you can appreciate the Lord who has been worshipped for eons. That's why you can see the deity in its full, without no decoration, everything. The early morning, if you go for Nirmali Darshan, they remove everything. And if you go round and round, you can keep on seeing them doing Abhishekam. They will do with the gingerly oil Abhishek. They'll sometimes put kalabam. Like today, I think they put applying kalabam. When it gets hot, they have a mixture of chandan, aguru, saffron. It's a very beautiful smelling thing. They'll give you sometimes kalabam prasadam a little bit. You can have this very cooling. They'll apply that on the Lord, full. And keep him very cool. So you will see the full deity of the Lord if you go in the morning, and you can see them doing the Abhishek with gingerly oil, with water, and you can get Charnamritam also directly in the morning. if you go in the morning at 3 o'clock, which means you have to get up at 2 o'clock, which means you should leave from here at 2:30, which means there will be a long queue and you should be part of it. It will be not very long. And then they will open the doors at 3, everybody rushes inside in the queue to be the first person to see the Lord. And you should be willing to do that. Those who are eager for devotional service, eager to see the Lord, will get up at 2 o'clock and go and do this. I am not saying you must do it, but if you like to do that, having come all the way, it's auspicious darshan. You may meet Indra, Brahma, Chandra, Vayu, Agni. You may stumble over them, but don't tell them anything about it. And they may be disguised also, we don't know. So, if you want, you can go for that. That's a great darshan. And there are so many devotees, Guruvayurappan, and there is devotees of, and there are so many stories of those devotees. Yeah, coming. When you enter the temple, you will see a big tusk on the top. It's an elephant tusk. It's not, one of those Stone Age mammoth elephants with the 2 tusks like it's not all this. It's a regular Indian elephant. He was called Keshavan. The Lord loves elephants. He has got a speciality, this deity Guruvayurappan. He likes to take an elephant ride, a royal ride. And there's a big story about that. That also I'll tell you if we have the time. But before that, one of the collection of elephants, he has got a huge collection of elephants, 70 elephants, the last I heard. People donate elephants for Guruvayurappan and he accepts them. His hobby is collecting elephants. You may be collecting stamps and coins and something. He collects elephants. You offered elephant? Yeah, give me, I'll ride on him. He rides on different types of elephants. He's a very royal person. You'll see a royal ride tonight if you want on the Lord. You can see the Lord, 8 kgs gold. Utsav Murti will go on the elephant in the night. I'll be there. I go. That's my favorite darshan. I'll be there tonight. So if you want, you can come. I think he's going to take all of you. How these elephants came there is a big story. They don't belong actually to Guruvayurappan. There's another big story. But before that, I'll tell you about Keshavan. One of those elephants is one devotee, full devotee, called Keshavan. Keshavan is a devotee who knows it is Ekadashi and he will fast. Ekadashi is not drink water also. This is how they know that this person is a devotee. Ekadashi, if you give any food and all, he'll just push it aside. He will not eat. On his own, he knows when it is Ekadashi. Right? We guys sometimes, Ekadashi is coming tomorrow, no grains, no besi beda bath, no this thing. Anyway, we will do it and I'll eat with a vengeance on Dwadashi morning. Yesterday I fasted. And even during Ekadashi, you will overeat also with the psychological effect of I am fasting. You will overeat the, sabudana, buckwheat and wovala, yevala, something. Fasting, Raj. All psychologically affected. But Keshavan did not drink a drop of water also. Nothing. Why? It is the Lord's day. And I want to become close to the Lord. I don't want to eat anything. Like that. So Keshavan, all the elephants will be put to use because they are eating and standing there. They'll take them for lumbering. Lumbering means in the forest, trees are cut, they lift the whole tree with their trunk, and help with those days we did not have all these fantastic machines, the cranes and the JCBs and this thing will take all that and put it on the lorry. They were using elephants. So they were using elephant, but Keshavan will say, elephants ab hum nahi aayenge yaar. I don't do all that work. I'll do only service to Guruvayurappan. For that you use me any way you want. Lumbering, sorry, not coming. Now Barala, nee hogi, Tarkondogi, my friends Tarkondogi, and Barala, I am not coming. Why? I will do only seva. to the Supreme Lord. Will just not come. So he will go in the temple and he'll do anything you want. I'll lift this for the Lord, I'll lift that for the Lord, I'll carry him others. No. So he was very special, and all the Mahuts also, don't fool around with him. If you stop him from doing the seva and all that, he'll attack you. But don't stand in between me and the Lord. So there's a whole movie on Keshavan made. It's a popular movie. You can go and Google it and see a black and white movie. Old days. I think they have, made a new also, I don't know. Keshavan, in my younger days, I've seen the movie. Very fascinating for youngsters to see. Wow. There's all sorts of pastimes in it. You can't go through all the pastimes. But Keshavan, there's a special day called Guruvayurappan, which is on Moksha Day Ekadashi. The day Gita Jayanti was spoken. Gita was spoken. Gita Jayanti. That is a big festival for the temple, a 10-day festival. And there, they will select the elephant who will carry the Lord for 10 days. So they have an elephant race. Even today they have. And the elephants and the Mahuts will compete. Whoever wins the race will become the Utsava elephant. Keshavan will always win. Keshavan will make sure he wins it. I saw once the BBC coming and shooting this. They were running, the elephant is running, they were shooting the whole thing in front. With a huge camera and set, they made a documentary. The place where the maximum amount of elephants are available is this place. Because the Lord collects elephants. So the one who wins, he'll get a special shed with decorations now made, and he'll be underneath that. And all the Mahaprasadam will be put in front of him. Even you won't get all the Mahaprasadam. Big laddus and the rice and this thing, all that will get. And he'll keep eating it. And every day he will carry the Lord. On the Arata festival, on the very exciting. The Lord goes hunting on the elephant. That also, just now got over. It's called Palliveta. The Lord will go hunting and everybody will come dressed as different types of animals and birds and all. They are allowed inside. And then from the top, the Pujari and the Lord, somehow the Pujari get inspired and he'll throw his spear. It will hit that particular bird and that bird will, fall down. The Lord will go hunting. There are amazing pastimes there. The deity does all sorts of things. So Keshavan was taking part in all this. All this only I will do. I will not do lumbering, someone nahi karega. So they knew he's a devotee. So on Ekadashis he will fast. So on the day he left, it was Guruvayurappan, and he didn't speak to anybody. He silently did parikrama for 3 times around the Lord. He came in front of the Lord and paid obeisances. The front 2 legs bent like this, the back fully stretched. He put his head down. He pushed his tusk into the ground as a mark of respect. And he left his body right there in front of the Lord. He passed away. So they did a grand celebration for passing away of Keshavan. You can go to Keshavan's Samadhi. And there is a huge life-size Keshavan standing on top of the Samadhi. This is next to that Narayana Maraprabhu, this thing. You can go. People go to Keshavan Samadhi and go around and he's a devotee. Complete devotee. Just in an animal's body, that's all. He will shake his this thing and Kirtan is going on, he will take part and shake his this thing and take part in it and all that. You see all sorts of things in the movie. We are not surprised because Shyamananda Prabhu's disciple Rasikananda had an elephant as disciple. He controlled a wild elephant and made him his disciple. You see the story, Rasikananda. And Narada Muni had a snake disciple. He initiated a snake. And then after initiation, the snake went, everybody is now hitting me and I can't bite them also because I am devotee. And all the boys and all are throwing stones and all at me. So Narada Muni told him, don't bite them, but show like as though you're going to bite them, they'll run away. But don't bite them. That's all. Like that. He gave advice to the disciple, snake's disciple. What shall I do now? Guru Maharaj, I am a devotee. I cannot sting anybody now. So he gave advice, this is how you should do. So Rasikananda had elephant disciple. A wild elephant was troubling everybody with this thing. He went in front and told, chant Hare Krishna, don't do this. You are a spirit soul. You are an elephant's body. Don't worry. Krishna went and preached, and the elephant bowed down to Rasikananda and told him, accept me. And he initiated the elephant. And the elephant was walking around with him. Amazing devotees. So it's not something uncommon for an elephant to be a devotee. So there is, for being devotee, it doesn't matter which body you are in. It's the Atma relating with the Lord in love. So Keshavan is a devotee. His tusk is what you see there in the front. His tusk is kept in memory. When you enter, you should remember Keshavan. That's why you'll see his tusk. In between the tusk, you'll see a huge Narasimhadev also there. He's got a big story there also. A huge Narasimhadev you'll see there, nicely put. So there are so many stories. I can't tell you all the stories. I will tell you the other story about how the Lord got so many elephants, because you are going to go there tomorrow to see the Lord's elephant yard. It's a biggest, there are 70 mahouts who look after, each elephant has got a mahout. And each mahout has got an ankusha. You know ankusha? Where do you see ankusha? Where have you seen ankusha? One of the signs on Krishna's feet are ankusha mudra underneath. How many signs are there in Krishna's lotus feet? 19, correct. 19 signs in left and right together. One of them is ankusha. Ankusha has got a rod like this and a hook like this. With that only they control the elephant. They put the hook inside and poke in. You'll see the ankusha is kept on top of his ears. He's conditioned to think that the mahout is standing, but the mahout put it on his ears and left somewhere. But if he's standing in one place with him, you can see that. And that you'll see a lot of things there. There's so many elephants on elephant, old elephant, 70 years old elephant. No? All the Lord's carriers, for each one got a mahout and a wonderful collection. How all these elephants came is another story. Do you think you have time to listen to the story now? Or is it getting too hot?
No.
Sure? You're sure? Okay, this is the last story, because actually I am not well today. Somehow I am just managing. Maybe we can meet again tomorrow or night or something. So, how the Lord got these elephants? I told you the Zamorin of Calicut was having the DD, and at that time it was a small establishment. And there was a elderly pujari who was looking after the Lord. And he was very dedicated pujari. The Lord once came in his dream and told him, my dear devotee, I want to ride elephant. I like to go on an elephant. He came in the dream and told him. So this pujari said, what? Did I see a dream? Actually he came and told me I want an elephant. May not be. I think I'm hallucinating. I'm growing old. Maybe I'm getting all sorts of this thing. How will a deity come and tell me I want to go on an elephant? It may not be true. I think I'm growing old. I've got to find a successor soon. He thought, and he didn't take it seriously. The Lord came again after 2 days and said, I told you, I want to ride elephant. Please get me an elephant. I want to go on an elephant. Then he got up and said, my gosh, I think this is true. And he looked at the deity, Lord standing. And he thought that this may be true. What shall I do? I'm an old man. Where will I go get an elephant here? Nobody comes here properly. No dakshina falls here. I can get an elephant. And then say, anyway, I have to do this. So he finished all the abhishek and all that. Took his cane. He was almost bent double like this. And he walked all the way because a big Utsavam is going on in Thrissur. Thrissur Puram festival. Everybody knows, world famous. The elephants lined up like this, caparisoned elephants. The temple has got lots of elephants. 25 elephants, 25, 50, in between the Lord will go and all. It's a very beautiful scene. So I heard that they have got elephants. This is Utsava time. I will go and ask. So he went all the way, old man, from here to Trichur, like 28 kilometers. He went all the way, and he went there in the crowd, and went somehow managed to go near the pujari, near this thing, and pulled his dhoti and said, Ade, Eniki, I mean Malayalam, I have a DD, you want to ride elephant, can I get an elephant? Very simple man. So he went and told the pujari, can I get an elephant? He said, what is wrong with you? Such a big festival is going on here, and you're saying, I want an elephant. What do you think this is? Stand aside. Just insulted him. Because who's going to answer me, I want elephant? So he said, he felt very bad. What? Guruvayurappan want to ride elephant? And I'm asking you, what is wrong? And you are treating me like this. What I can do? So I'm an old man, I have only asked, I cannot do more than this. He went back. He went back. If Krishna comes in the dream, I will tell him, I tried. What more can I do? I don't have money, I'm an old man. I went to the place where there are elephants, I asked, you can do anything more than this. Henry, I cannot do anything more than this. So he went and slept. The Lord was very pleased with him. He went and tried, although he was an old man. So he came in the dream and said, my dear devotee, go and open the door. He said, what? I am not able to get elephant. No, don't worry, just go open the door. You open the door, elephants are standing there. All the elephants are standing there. So many elephants. They're shaking their heads and all standing there, pushing this thing there. They want to come inside. He said, what? All the elephants came inside. What happened is, the Lord is situated super soul in everybody's heart. I want the elephant ride. I am the Supreme Personality of God. Aham sarvasya prabhuvo mattas sarvam pravartate. Everything comes from me. And you tried. Now I am doing it myself. Right? All those elephants ran away from Trishur Puram festival and came here. In their heart, he inspired them. You want to ride? Come. They came from 28 kilometers, they came here. Into the small temple, they are all wanting to go inside. And they came and said, no, take me on the elephant. How will I take them? You will be able to. Take me on the elephant. He became all right. He took the Lord on the elephant. There was a mahout. And the Lord said, now I am happy. And the elephants never went back. The elephants said, I will not go back. I want to take the Lord on my this thing. I want to by that. Because that is a Devi temple. They came from that famous Devi temple. These elephants never went back. Those are these elephants. From that time onwards, the Lord accepts. After this Leela is over, every day, 3 times there is elephant ride in the temple. In the morning, in the afternoon, and the night is more grand with 3 elephants. Sometimes the offering is like, even in the afternoon there are 3 elephants. Like, it depends on the offering that's been made. The elephant offering is booked for 35 years. You cannot even do an offering now. Maybe you can do now, and after you die, somebody will offer. On the 40th year, you can offer. Who knows? It's booked. I wanted to do, I was booking. And one doctor will not get it. Better don't do. Like that. Even the lighting of the lamps around is also booked for 35 years. Once we did it for Kartik. In the time I said we offered. Very long back. Many years. So you will see the Lord is going on his procession. He loves elephants. When you see him on top of the elephant, you will see he really likes the elephant. They are rocking like that, and a very beautiful decoration they'll put and hold him like that. And there'll be chanda, mela, the traditional instruments. It's called Trayambakam. He will use that Trayambakam, and with his hands he will control the sound. He'll bang it and he'll do with the hands. You'll see it's a traditional instrument with all these tassels hanging on it. That's very famous. And then they'll blow the Nadaswaram, and they'll carry lamps. And then in front of Shankaracharya's place they'll come. Shankaracharya is the person who set up all that worship here. Shankaracharya, passed away when he was 32 years old. finished his pastimes, Lord Shiva himself. And he traveled by mystic power because he was a great yogi also. So Shankaracharya went above that Guruvayur temple those days and didn't pay respect or something, anything much. Something like that. So the Lord withdrew his Shakti. Poof, he fell from the roof down into the temple. And as soon as he fell, he knew that I have done something, this thing. And when he got up, he started composing the Govinda Ashtakam prayers, glorifying Guruvayurappan. Oh Govinda. He composed the Govinda Ashtaka prayers. The Lord became very pleased with him and said, it's not that I punished you or anything. I want you to set up the system of worship. System of worship you set up here. And that's why I brought you here. So he sent up the whole system of worship which is followed even today. It's a very detailed tantric mode of worship with all mudras, a very detailed worship. You will see if you go inside the pujari, you can't touch the pujari. Nobody should touch the pujari. Pujari sleeps only for 2 hours a day in the night. He gets up at 2 o'clock, you go to sleep only at 12 o'clock after doing everything, this, that, everything. And the pujari belongs to the 6 Nambudiri families who are allowed to worship the Lord. And a child will come and pick up the lot in front of the deity, and that family name will be told and they can come and take over for the 6 months. After 6 months, another family. After 6 months, another family. And that Tantri, main pujari, cannot leave the temple for 6 months. Cannot go out. He's inside there only. You will see him sitting on the back side. If you go in for the morning, this thing, after the puja is over, he'll come at 6 o'clock and sit outside and give people prasadam. He's the main pujari. People will go and take his blessings. And so this is how the puja riti. It is done by Shankaracharya, very detailed, very full of nishtha and full of... That's why they don't allow children inside as much as possible. If the child passes urine, no, everybody will be sent out, the whole temple will be washed. And they will stop the whole thing to that level of cleanliness, and this thing they'll follow. Right? So, very high level of cleanliness, punctuality, all that. Very nice temple in terms of cleanliness and rituals, and the Lord is worshipped in a very, very beautiful way. So you go inside, you will see it's a small temple but very potent. You feel the presence of Krishna there very much. Jai Ho! Now I think you can safely eat prasadam. Relax. Go for darshan. Kurirama's pastime next. Like that, there are so many devotees, Kurirama, and had pastimes here with the Lord, because the deity is worshipped by Sutapa and Prishni and Kashyapa and Aditi and Devaki and Vasudeva. So you have the opportunity to take darshan of the Lord. We have been here for a long time actually. We have fought several court cases here. We have a long history here. And we have been trying hard for a long time to build up something. ISKCON owns nearly about 3 acres land here in the prize area. And because of that, we have been the butt of many attacks from many local people, all sorts of people. All the land mafia and the CPM and everybody together. But we have sustained it somehow till now. Now we are poised to raise a nice place for utility. So we want all of you to offer prayers to Guruvayurappan, and so that we can establish a nice utility place. We have a guest house, and then we have another utility building coming up, and then a big museum. We're going to make a museum of Narayaniam, a Narayaniam museum, and give people a Guruvayur experience. And there's going to be a restaurant and some other place. But we're not focusing too much on our main temple right now, because they are very sensitive about us establishing a temple here immediately. So we are going to serve Guruvayurappan with all this facility. So we want all of you to offer prayers to Guruvayurappan so it may become successful. Om Tat Sat. We will do a parting kirtan for 5 minutes and then I shall leave you all. What's the time? 11:30. Yeah. You can, one thing you can do is to go around to other places. No? Mammiyur you can go to that Narayana Maraprabhu, it's all outside. And the Samadhi. And then by then you can come back, it will be time for lunch. Just walkable also. You walk and you can go and see those things. If you go from here 20, you're going to, anyway, you're going to Ramar temple and all that. You're going to Vadakannathan Kshetram. You're not going. Trichur center is a 4,000-year-old Shiva temple.